really, Lent, like all of our liturgical seasons and a lot of the things we do as Catholics, it's got its signs, it's got its symbols, it's got its particularities that really make it the season that it is and help us to know and see, often literally, the season that it is. One of the things we have right in front of us. Not the beautiful microphone array, but the tablecloth we have, which is purple. Hooray! Purple. It's one of these things that we do. When purple shows up, it's either Advent or it's Lent, because this is one of our colors. Typically, we're putting those on, putting that color on during those seasons. So, I guess I can ask two different questions, but the one I'll start with. When you walk in, maybe it's on Ash Wednesday, or maybe it's the first Sunday of Lent, and you're there, and you see that purple, and you see it in the vestments, you see it in the, maybe the decorations around the church. What does that do for you? Does it make you feel anything? Does it change the mood? Does it, kind of affect you in any way? Or is it just, they changed the color?
It's a strong reminder, certainly, that this is really the penitential season. I mean, the statues are covered, everything's covered. And so how could you not be affected by that? It's part of the liturgical season.
Yeah, it's just part of the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, for me, it's just part of the puzzle, if you will. This is just part of the old, it ties it all together.
Yeah.
I love the stories during Lent, I like the readings. And, the color, I think I relate to it, but it doesn't necessarily, turn something on in my head when I see it, but it's part of the, red or green, the colors of the seasons, this, I know, to your point, I know it's Lent, but it's just part of the, I guess, the fabric of Lent, literally.
Yeah, I can still kind of picture in my church growing up, they'd always put these banners up during Lent with the purple. Mm-hmm. And so I agree, it's a reminder, it kind of just brings you back into the season, and it's part of that kind of liturgical living where you're always on the calendar that repeats year after year. And so when you've grown up with these traditions, you're kind of instantly brought back, and you can feel the feeling of being in that season. You're not just kind of mentally there, but there are these physical reminders of what time of year it is in the church as well. So you can enter into a church and be reminded instantly that it's Lent, and be brought back to all of those memories of childhood and kind of what it looked like to enter the church then, and what it looks like now is not that different. So
yeah, I think again, for me who's again newer to Catholic Church, the rich kind of symbolism of the church has really just been a gift, and has really added so much to my church-going experience, and that does include the vestments and the colors and the statues, right? It's all, like you said, kind of telling a story. And for me, when I go to Mass, even daily Mass, when suddenly the priest is wearing red or something, it really does set the scene of okay, this is different. Something else is happening. And so for me, it is very exciting. It's very much, it's a gift, really. It's so cool that the church has thought so much about just everything. I mean, I've joked I could live 3 lifetimes and that still wouldn't be enough to dig into all the rich traditions of the church and stuff like that. And so, so for me, I'm looking forward to seeing purple and just entering into this time. It's gonna be fun.
I think it's great, you bring up that point of just kind of catching people's attention almost, something is happening, what's going on here, and I find that often when we get deep into Lent, or Advent too, but especially with Lent here, and we hit the weekend when we're wearing the rose-colored vestments, and very much it's just like that, where at that point you've gotten into the gotten into the flow of wearing purple, and people are used to the purple now, and all of a sudden the priest comes out and is like, boom, big splash of color, different color. What's going on here? And it's exactly that, because it's the rejoicing Sunday. It's telling you, okay, we're going to focus in on something a little different this week, and we're going to show you, so that it does catch your attention. And I think a lot of our symbols, especially during Lent, are doing, just that very thing. And that's, as an incarnational people, as people who are drawn into these stories and the reality of what this all was and what it looked like and what it felt like, and really all those aspects, we want to hear them, and we want to see them, and we want to sometimes touch them, and that's all that together helps us to kind of understand what's happening and what this is all about.